Talking Trees with Lily and Jad. Welcome back to Talking Trees. Today we're going global and examining the first ever European tree worker ETW exam held in Hong Kong. The results? Let's just say there's room for improvement. Tune in to learn what the ETW exam involves, where Hong Kong arborists fell short, the implications for tree care in Hong Kong and beyond, what's next for the ETW exam in Asia. Join us as we explore the challenges and triumphs of arboriculture on a global scale.
Hey, fellow arborists. You know, something big just happened in our world. Something that could change how we get recognized and, show our expertise.
Yeah, it really could.
We're talking about the European Tree Worker Certification, the ETW.
Yep.
It's been this big deal in Europe for a while now, and it seems like it's spreading to other parts of the world.
It is.
Get this. The first ever ETW exam outside of Europe just finished in Hong Kong.
Really makes you think, huh?
We're going to break down exactly what happened. 15 candidates took the exam. Some of the top arborists from Hong Kong.
It's really pretty fascinating because this whole thing kind of points to, maybe a global shift towards standardized, rigorous, arboriculture practices. The European Arboriculture Council, the EAC, has been really pushing this ETW program internationally. They want to see like a really strong professional system for arborists everywhere, worldwide.
So it's kind of like they're saying, hey, look what we've built in Europe. It's working really well and we want to share it with everybody.
Exactly. Sharing the success, spreading the knowledge.
Yeah. And the ETW certification is already recognized in 27 European countries and now Hong Kong. So it's pretty much the most widely recognized arborist accreditation out there internationally.
That's pretty amazing.
Now, I know some of you might be thinking like, ugh, another certification.
Right.
But hear me out. We've heard that this exam was not easy.
Not at all.
A lot of the candidates found it tougher than they expected, especially the simulation tests.
That's one of the things that makes the ETW different from other certifications. It's all about applied knowledge, practical skills.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing multiple choice questions, the ETW puts people through these, real world scenarios. So they might have to assess a complicated pruning situation or, come up with a tree management plan based on the specific site conditions.
Wow. So we're not talking like textbook examples, right? These simulations were meant to really challenge them and make them think on their feet.
Exactly. It's not about memorizing stuff. It's about showing what you would actually do out there in the field.
So, for example, one of the simulation tests was all about assessing tree risk.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Candidates had to look at a tree, figure out what the hazards were, and then recommend ways to reduce the risk.
That's a perfect example of how the ETW goes way beyond just memorizing facts. You have to analyze the situation, think about all the different things that are going on, and make good decisions.
And apparently a lot of candidates had trouble with that particular test.
Well, it really shows how important it is to be able to assess risk and make smart choices when you're out there working with trees. It's not just about climbing or using a chainsaw. It's about understanding all those things that affect tree health and safety.
Right.
It's all connected.
And speaking of challenges, the tree identification part also tripped some people up.
Oh, yeah.
They had to identify trees by their scientific names and their common names. No apps allowed.
That's a great way to test if someone really knows their stuff. You can't always rely on technology.
Sometimes you just got to use your own brain.
Exactly.
Now, Sammy Au, he's a pretty big name in the Hong Kong arboriculture world. He was really key in bringing the ETW exam to the region.
He's a great guy.
And he said that a lot of the candidates were super confident at first, but then they quickly realized that they had some knowledge gaps.
It's amazing how a tough exam like this can really show you where you need to improve. It makes you face your weaknesses and figure out how to get better.
And it's not just about individual growth. It's about raising the bar for the whole profession.
Absolutely. That's why the EAC is so focused on getting global recognition for the ETW. They see it as a way to make arboriculture better everywhere. It really makes you think if arborists all over the world were working to those same high standards, it could mean better tree care, globally.
Yeah. It's like the EAC is saying, look, we made this tough system and it works in Europe, so why not share it?
Right. Precisely. They're not trying to force the European way on everybody, but they're offering something that can be, adjusted to different places and situations.
Yeah, that's a good point. The ETW isn't about copying. Europe. It's about making sure everybody's on the same page when it comes to being a professional arborist.
Exactly. Now, about that Hong Kong exam, another part that was tricky for some folks was the tree inspection part. Sammy Au noticed that a lot of the candidates only looked at the trees from one side. They didn't walk all the way around.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they missed some stuff that could have been dangerous, hidden from view.
Right.
To do a really good tree inspection, you got to be systematic. Look at it from every angle, be on the lookout for signs of decay or weaknesses or anything that could affect the tree's health or safety.
It makes you wonder if even experienced arborists are missing these things.
Yeah.
What does that say about tree inspections in general, in that area?
Yeah, it brings up some important questions about training. Are arborists getting what they need to do these really thorough inspections?
And how can we make sure those inspections are always top-notch no matter where they're happening?
Good questions. Those are really good questions. The ETW exam, it's like a wake-up call, It shows that we need to keep training and learning to make sure arborists are up to date on the best practices.
Right. You can't just get certified once and think you're done.
Yeah.
Arboriculture is always changing. Got to keep learning.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the EAC gets that they're not just giving an exam. They also offer training and resources to help people get ready for it and improve their skills.
It's a whole package deal.
It is.
So a lot of people had trouble with the practical parts of the ETW exam, but they did pretty well on the written test.
Interesting. That might mean that a lot of arborist training programs focus a lot on the theory,
But maybe not enough on putting it into practice.
It's possible. It's like the difference between reading about pruning and actually doing it. You can know all the stuff, but until you actually do it, you're not really proficient.
And that's what's cool about the ETW. It makes you connect that theory and practice, show your skills in real situations.
Get your hands dirty.
Yeah. Speaking of practical skills, the climbing and pruning part of the exam also showed some interesting things.
Oh, yeah. The part where you see who's really got the basics down.
Exactly. Sammy Au said that some people were more into showing off their fancy tools and techniques instead of showing they knew the basics.
It's a good reminder that no matter how fancy the tech gets, the most important thing is knowing the fundamentals.
You got to be able to tie a good knot, make a clean cut, understand the tree's structure before you even think about the latest gear or techniques.
Yeah, those basic skills are like the foundation for everything we do in arboriculture.
And without them, you're putting yourself and the tree in danger.
Exactly. Like trying to build a house on a bad foundation, it's not going to last.
So what does all this mean for arborists, outside of Europe?
Well, it shows that the EAC is serious about this global standard of excellence in arboriculture.
And Hong Kong is just the first step.
Sammy Au is already talking about bringing ETW to Taiwan and Southeast Asia. So it's clear that the EAC wants to share this with the whole world.
It's like the world of arboriculture is getting closer and closer.
Yeah, and the ETW is kind of like a bridge, bringing people together from different places, all working towards being the best they can be.
So for all of you listening out there, how does this affect you? What does this EPW thing mean for your career, your professional development and all that?
It's a great way to see where you stand, compare your skills to this internationally recognized standard.
Yeah, kind of like the Olympics of arboriculture.
Exactly. You're not just competing against yourself. You're seeing how you measure up against the best in the world.
That's pretty cool. And even if you don't decide to go for the ETW certification, what happened in these exams is valuable for all of us.
Right. It can help us see where we might need to brush up on our skills, or learn some new stuff.
It's a good time to stop and think, am I really doing my best? Am I meeting those high standards in my work?
And if you're not, or even if you just want to push yourself further, the ETW might be something to check out.
For sure. Now, for those of you who are interested, the next exam is in May 2025 in Hong Kong.
And they'll have some training beforehand to help people get ready.
So if you're ready for a challenge, this is your chance to join this awesome group of skilled arborists from all over.
It's not just about having another certificate on your wall. It's about being part of something bigger, making the whole profession better.
Yeah. This ETW coming to Hong Kong was huge, and it's just the start. The EAC sharing this program with everyone, it's really changing things for arborists everywhere.
So think about this. What part do you want to play in the future of arboriculture? Are you ready to step up and embrace this global standard of excellence?
That's all the time we have for this deep dive into the world of the ETW. We'll keep you posted on what's happening with this program as it grows.
Until next time, happy climbing, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to Talking Trees. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the ETW exam in Hong Kong. Want to support the show and get access to exclusive content like extended interviews, bonus episodes, and behind-the-scenes insights? Become a patron at herohero.co/talkingtrees. Your support helps us keep the leaves rustling and the conversations flowing. Until next time, keep those roots strong and your branches reaching for the sky.